The next topic I want to discuss is how you can keep track of what your students are doing. Are they engaged or not? As I said earlier in the webinar, you can no longer walk around the classroom and look over their shoulders. So what ways does itslearning offer to keep track of your students? And there are different ways to keep track. You could say you can keep track on several levels. The first one, the follow-up task list, is more for you as a teacher because it tells you which activities require your attention. Concrete example here, a student has submitted an assignment answer which you need to review, or maybe they have completed a test, they have submitted the test, and you should have a look at that. The other one, the overview per activity. In the task tool, in the assignment tool, in the test tool, you can easily see which student have completed that activity, maybe which have the activity in progress, and which still haven't started yet. In addition to that overview, you can also easily send reminders to them. I'll show you that in a bit in a video. But also within the tools, you can review answers on assignments and the submitted test questions of a student. I will show you a video on how to review answers, but also how to use the test report in the test tool to get insight in students' understanding. So lastly, the helicopter here, it's a helicopter view, a view across the course and across your students, where in itslearning you can use the 360 report to get this helicopter view of your course. And from that helicopter view, you can zoom in on a student or on a specific course activity. So the follow-up tasks, as mentioned before, that can be assignments that you need to review, tests that have been submitted and require your attention. And what it basically does is shows you how many students or groups, if it's a group assignment, that require your attention within that activity. So from the task list, you can easily open the activity. So the next example, sending reminders to students, will start from the task list and will show you how you can easily access a resource from there. So I click on the group assignments, and here I see a bunch of students that have submitted as a group, but also a couple that hasn't. And I could simply choose to send reminders to those students. And when students have installed the mobile app of itslearning, they will be notified of the reminder. And when they open the reminder, they can see the details. So when students have installed a mobile app, and we've seen that since March, 1 million of installs of the app have happened. So a lot of students do have this app. And if they have it, it can be used to very easily communicate to them on important events or things they need to do. So one other thing you can do directly from the task list, if you want to, is to review student answers. The group assignment, as an example again, let me start the video. So not only do I want to send reminders to students that haven't submitted, I also want to see the work of students that have submitted. So in this case, my students have filled in this Word document, but I see they haven't fully filled in the whole form. So if you're using our built-in Word Online editor, then from there you can easily add comments, but also using the all-in-one grader, you can quickly send the assignment back to your students. And in this case, you're asking them to resubmit, to work on a better version and submit that again. And from the all-in-one grader, you could easily navigate to the next student if you so want to. Talking all about Word Online, brief comment on that. Also later this summer, we're planning to upgrade to Word for the web, which will be a bit stabler than the Word version we currently have, but also more feature-rich, more in line with the Word Online you might use yourself with your personal account or your school account. So the last tool or last activity I want to discuss in this topic is the test tool. And one example of the test tool is to use it to get a quick overview of understanding, or use it as a quick check for understanding, so to speak. So in this case, let me start the video again. Students have already answered this, this test. If you then jump into the report section, you have question statistics, where you can see on each question how many of the alternatives or how often an alternative has been selected by your students. And this way you can easily see which topics are understood by your students and which topics might require more instruction from you. So you can use these reports to more efficiently use your instruction time. So we've talked about different activities and how you can work with those different activities, but there's also the 360 report, the helicopter view across your course, available via the course menu. Let me start the video again. So you can click on the 360 report. From there, you can have a quick overview of student activity, of the progress of the students across all the content in the course, their average grades, but also dive into the detailed summary of all the course resources. In addition, you can zoom into individual students, see their activity, which times of the day and which days of the week they are active. Get an overview of the different resources, how far along are they there, but also if you're grading in itslearning, looking at the grades and see trends there. Is there a trend climbing or declining, in which case you might want to reach out to that student. So the 360 report can give you valuable insights in how students are engaged with your course content.